inform you all that today's session is comprises of only one segment, and so yeah, let's start with the that one only. So please introduce about yourself first, one by one.
Uh, would you like to start?
Please, Sergey.
Okay. So, my name is Sergey Gribniak. I am the head of research for this project. I work in software development for 18 years. I Basically, I was a technical co-founder of the company, which was acquired by one of the top 10 banks in the United States. It was a Web2, but still fintech, and they were integrating it to their to one of their flagship products. My blockchain journey started in 2017. I was me and my team was one of the first groups which were building first layer 2 solutions for Ethereum. In particular, our GitHub repository with Plasma Cache, which was popular at that time, was actually first such a GitHub repository with working prototype at that time, released like 3 weeks after Vitalik Buterin announced this design pattern. And yeah, we actually preserved this efficiency and agility in our team. So later on, we decided that we would like to build something more sophisticated, and we started to explore the direction of directed acyclic graphs. I started my PhD on this topic, and yeah, basically I defended my PhD thesis. I'm a PhD in computer science, and Waterfall is based on my PhD. I was an author of initial idea, but now it is the joint work of our research and development group. I also hold multiple positions at IEEE, and I also advise one of the governments on the implementation of their digital strategy and the Web3 angle of it. Thank you so much for having me. Over to Yevgen.
Thank you. Sorry. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. My name is Yevgen Leonchik, and I am an associated professor with a PhD in mathematics at the Odessa National University in Ukraine. My main research focus lies in mathematically modeling complex computer and economic systems. I've contributed to numerous international scientific studies in this field. Now I participate in IEEE working group as a scientific secretary. For the last 7 years, I have focused on the field of distributed ledger technology and have been involved in various projects concerning both decentralized, public, and private networks. So I work at Waterfall for over 2 years in the research team, and I am pleased to be here with my colleagues to respond to your questions about our project. Thank you for your interest. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alexander Nashevan. I am a development team lead in Waterfall from 2021. So it was 3 years ago. I have a master's degree in computer science, and which I got 15 years ago. And after that, I worked like a software developer, and more web developer. And last 5 years, more than 5 years, 7 years, I worked with distributed ledger technologies. Like Sergey said we worked on Plasma Cache, and use different other develop other solution using different distributed ledger technologies. And 3 years ago, Sergey I discussed with Sergey about the idea about waterfall, about Blockdark, and we started working on this project. And now we are preparing to launch mainnet. So, thank you.
All right, that's great, and happy to know about your all background, and glad to have you here, um, sir. And other than this, let's talk about the project. Like, what is the Waterfall Network? So please give us a brief introduction about it.
Yes, so I will take this question. So I will start sharing the screen, and well, it may sound a little bit too simple, but the best way to learn what is Waterfall is actually to go to the website of the project, which is called waterfall.network. 1 second. Yeah, waterfall.network. So here there are a couple of we have actually good number of validators added. First, I suggest we review the Explorer. So this is the visualization of how our live testnet works, and these drops which are falling from the top to the bottom is actually the blocks, and they have pretty much the same structure as Ethereum blocks, but main difference is here, where we reference to not to one block like in blockchain, and this is why it is a chain, but reference to multiple predecessors. So we are kind of breaking the rule of one block having only one predecessor, and this allows us to introduce concurrency in terms of the block production. And later on, we are already working on the concept of the parallel processing on the multiple levels. So parallel processing on the single shard and parallel processing on the multi-shard level. So Waterfall, another important section is documentation. So here you can join our testnet 8, and yeah, there were 8 testnets, and testnet 8 is the last one. So here you can go through the guide how you can basically install MetaMask and add RPC to it. This is the faucet where you can get your free testnet water coins, and you can use them to activate your nodes. And here is the one-click setup node, so you can go ahead and just set it up on your Windows or MacBook, and this is the one using Docker for more sophisticated users, and also can work on Linux, on Windows, and on Mac OS. So using Docker, it is probably easier to map the resources of the device. So for people who are going to run multiple validators and do it, maybe Docker will be more recommended. And we are working already on releasing the guides how to use various hosting and staking providers to do this. So here are the guides how you can use, Hardhat, Remix, Truffle to deploy smart contracts. Here the examples of the contracts WRC20, WRC721, and also you can go ahead and deploy your own version of Uniswap v3 on Waterfall, and yeah, that's pretty much the entire guide. You just copy and pasting it, and it works. So here is the test result. So first testnet was launched in October of 2021. The scalability at that time was around 1,000 transactions per second. So the second testnet was tested at the beginning of 2022, and we got to a little more than 2,000 transactions per second. So then there was the testnet 8. We got to more than 11,000 and 11,500, a little more than 11,500 transactions per second. And it was end of the last year. And again, all these tests were done on very low very we can say low hardware, like 2-core CPU, 4 gigabytes of RAM. So, for example, your cell phone most likely have 4 to 8 core CPU and 8 to 32 gigabytes of RAM currently. So this was the public test of testnet 7. So somebody not affiliated with us at all, and we don't know who this is, sent like almost 2 million transactions to the testnet 7, and testnet 7 successfully processed them, and there was no delays for transactions which are happening at the same time, because they were just simply included into the most of them were included into the blocks which are happening in parallel. So let's say these 2 millions are going in this branch, and in these branches there were the rest of the transactions, and this is the beauty of parallelism introduced by the approach of directed acyclic graph. So another important page is actually statistics page. So here again, here you can go to all the you can download these one-click setups. But what's most important here is actually this number of workers. We will rename them to validators to avoid any confusion, because people are like, okay, what is worker? And everyone knows what is a validator. And worker essentially is a validator. So we of course, there are some differences in our technologies compared to others, but so, but in general view is pretty much the same. So we will call them validators, and soon they will be renamed on the website. So 2048 is controlled by us, right? But we currently have 2,745 controlled by people and organizations which are outside of our team. And by the way, 37 were added over the last 24 hours. And this is not incentivized testnet. So we are having like 700 validators already, almost 700, to be precise, 697. And this is like a very big number, even for incentivized testnet. And but considering the fact that our testnet is not incentivized, we consider it as a very good result. And I can show you why we are thinking like this. Because, for example, if we will go ahead and compare ourselves to the number of validators on other networks. So 1 second. And again, we are comparing ourselves doesn't mean that these networks are bad. These are all good projects. We are comparing ourselves to good projects, and we're not saying that these good projects are bad projects. They all are good projects, but we are just sharing how we are different. For example, this is the most important, the most popular projects out there currently. So Ethereum is already more than 1 million validators, but in general, if we will review the number of validators, so Ethereum, Gnosis, I mean, Bitcoin is not validators, it's nodes, and then we go on and on here, and when we are passing Solana and getting to Sui, and Solana, by the way, currently have 1.5, I think, thousand. We can check following this link. So yeah, 1,500. Basically, for example, we have on our not incentivized testnet more validators than for example, let's say SUI on their incentivized testnet. So this is why we are considering this number as pretty attractive, and we are working hard to grow our community, and we appreciate that community is responding to us with certain level of sympathy. And thank you so much for being with us. Please join our community. We're launching very soon. Thank you.
All right, that's great, and thanks for such a wonderful introduction about the waterfall. So I have some certain sets of questions related to the waterfall network. So let's discuss about it. So yeah, can you explain like how waterfall network consensus mechanism ensures security and decentralization?
So yeah, I'm taking this, or anyone? Yeah, yeah. So well, waterfall, we basically the way it works is, so we are having these blocks which are happening in parallel, right? And then we yeah, by the way, decentralization is a good topic. So yeah, let me start sharing the screen again. So for us to see this. Yeah, that's this. So basically, we have, when we're talking about blockchain, we are having like a semi-ordered set. I mean, we're having fully ordered set. We perfectly know that one event is happening after another. When we're talking about directed acyclic graph, like the one we see here, we're talking about semi-ordered set. So, for example, we know that these 5 blocks are has happened after these 3 blocks, right? But we don't know which one of them is first. So later on, after these blocks are created, then we are using the ordering algorithm, deterministic ordering algorithm, and we are creating the order for them, and then we are essentially, after the blocks are ordered, and as a result, the transactions in them transactions also are ordered. We are sending them to the execute, basically to virtual machine, and virtual machine updates the state. So what we are working on right now is we are working on the multiple concepts of parallel execution, and one of them is actually so-called subnetworks. And we will also probably will rename it, because in that case, these subnetworks are very different from the subnetworks which other technologies have. But because the name is the same, we are talking about separation of one shard to groups of strongly connected nodes, and these strongly connected nodes can basically create, each of them can create blocks in parallel, right? And then these blocks are update the state in parallel, and then share the updated state with others. So basically, this is kind of like a state sharding in this is like a state sharding on the level of a single shard. And also we are working on the concept of, by implementing the directed acyclic graph on the level of the coordination network, we are working on the concept of virtually unlimited sharding. So basically this mechanism which we're describing here can be replicated virtually unlimited amount of times. I'm talking about virtually unlimited because everything is limited by something, but the number of such replication could be very big, and this essentially can lead us to the concept that we are going to virtually unlimited scalability, and once this is implemented, it makes waterfall as a technology, the more decentralized it is, the more scalable it is becoming. So it is already one of the most decentralized technologies out there, and we recently have conducted the internal test with close to 1.6 million validators, and Alex can share more details about this, or I believe we will release the report. So, and basically this test of 1.6 million validators is actually makes this test is the biggest test makes waterfall tested with the biggest number of validators than any of the technology has on their mainnet, and even more than all of them have combined on their mainnet. So this test has research significance, and this is why it is important, because to our best knowledge this hasn't been done by anyone yet. I will share this article. This article actually shares the main concepts of waterfall. So for me not to go deep into the woods during this AMA session, because our time is limited, I will share this article, and yeah, please share it with our recording with your community, so people are able to review the details on how this is going to be executed, or going to going to be executed in future. And thank you so much for the good question.
All right, yeah, got it. And thank you for explaining the consensus mechanism of the waterfall network. And it's fascinating to learn how it ensures both security and decentralization. So, moving on, could you please explain, like, how does the waterfall network handle increased transaction volumes and maintain performance?
Let me take this question. I will share my screen. One moment. First of all, we have scrutinized a few mechanisms for maintaining a high transaction throughput, such as the dynamical adjustment of network slots, the number of blocks per slot, and their frequencies. Also, subnetworks with parallel processing. In addition, virtually unlimited sharding. Moreover, we have developed a new fast finality proof-of-stake consensus protocol involving the participation of millions of nodes that was mentioned in the previous question. A part of these features are implemented, and other parts are already researched, but there is a part that is currently under exploration. Our research team have just finished working on a new approach, allowing us to implement virtually unlimited sharding on the Waterfall platform that was mentioned by Sergey in the previous question. Results were submitted for publication. Now we keep on working on the system design and adding new features such as parallel processing of smart contracts. All this is aimed at scaling both the performance of the entire system and the number of network validators. So research and development keep on going ahead, as well as testing and optimization. Thank you for your interest. I hope I answer your question. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much for that insight. And actually, it's crucial for any network to manage scalability effectively. So, other than this, how do you protect the waterfall network against the quantum threats?
So yeah, I'll take this question. So I can say that we're taking this very seriously. And we essentially, when we started building the project in 2021, we already were thinking about. There is an organization which is called NIST. It is National Institute of Standards and Technology, I think. And they were conducting the basically the review process of post-quantum resistant cryptography, and the main things they said that needs to be replaced is actually the signatures and hash functions. So and Alex can confirm it that we actually were discussing maybe we should initially go ahead and go with post-quantum cryptography, but at that time, first, the review process has not been ended, so we didn't know which of these, I think there was 10 or something candidates were reviewed. And second, when you are updating the for example, signatures, you are there can be issues with compatibility with existing technology. So we yet don't see quantum threat like kind of being that serious at this time. So it doesn't mean that it may not change in a close couple of years. But let's say we do not believe that it is going to change, for example, this year. However, we are already reviewing the post-quantum cryptography. We have submitted recently the article with current review. So we are taking this potential threat very seriously. And we are working on this, and for example, the private version of Waterfall, it will most likely have already post-quantum enabled cryptography, and we basically post-quantum resistant, and we are working on this direction. So it's not like we're ignoring it. We are just kind of thinking and choosing the right time to implement it with when all the right conditions surrounding the project are met and in place. So sooner or later it will happen, and probably rather sooner than later. So yeah, thank you for this question.
All right, thank you for highlighting the importance of security. And people, if you want to know more about the Waterfall Network, please check out their documentation, can say white paper and website, etc. You will get more deeper information over there. Now, let's talk about the smart contracts. How does the Waterfall Network ensure the security and efficiency of smart contract deploy on its platform?
I will take this question. Waterfall support EVM and is fully compatible with Ethereum. Also, we now are doing external security audit, which are doing hacking, and they found one hacker has recently suggested optimization that we already that were implemented in Ethereum, and we check it, and we already implemented it in our code, and we are testing now, and it will be included next update. About security audit, it's on the finished way, and Currently, we have a preliminary report, and we have one of this update with EVM, and after we testing, and I think we will get final report from the auditors. Also, I want to clarify that we are creating several blocks in parallel, uh, but transactions currently processing sequentially. That means according to ordering blocks and consensus. So at the moment, our research team is working on how this can be parallelized, and after that, we will implement it, that. And that also it's also depends of smart contracts, and we will check, test, and also we will have a new security audit about this function. So I think I answered on your question.
All right, awesome. Thank you for providing that information. And growing a robust ecosystem is essential for any network. So yeah, that's great. Other than this, I have another very good question. Like, what steps is Waterfall Network taking to encourage the growth of its ecosystem, including the apps and services?
Yes, thank you so much for this question. This is a very active, ongoing phase, and I actually was a little bit surprised about our progress in this. Because again, this is not done on our end. So we are research and development team, basically business development mainly done on the association part, and but there is also there are different levels of this. But let's talk about the ecosystem in general. So the association is actively getting in touch with projects from the following categories. And again, I will share the screen shortly and show these categories. But in general, for example, we have done outreach to the projects which are relevant to us. And in the first 2 days, when we have sent 40 emails, we actually received 4 emails back with projects which are interested in collaborating with us. So this is a huge percentage. Basically, typically, when you are doing email outreach, it is good when you are getting open rate 15% or something, but 10% response rate is huge. So I'm not sure that we are having the same currently, but these are the main categories of the projects which we're interested in partnering with. If you have such a project, please approach us, and you can. Some of these categories already have multiple providers. Some of them are still vacant, so you can approach us and become the first one to be in our community and for our ecosystem. But currently we are releasing probably at least 2 announcements per week about new partnerships, and you can please follow us on our social media, and yeah, you will be able to observe it. And if you are the project in one of these categories, or or maybe something else, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be happy to explore these opportunities. I will also send it to our chat, so if you will be able to publish it after publishing the recording of our AMA, that would be great, so people are aware and they can. Yeah, thank you so much for this, and they will be able to reach out to us and explore the collaboration opportunities.
Yeah, sure. We will absolutely gonna share this. And guys, yeah, join all the social links of Waterfall and please support this project. Other than this, now let's discuss about the consumption and environmental impact. Like, how does the Waterfall network address concern regarding energy consumption and environmental impact?
So basically, Waterfall, as we were highlighting in previously, so Waterfall is a proof of stake. So it doesn't require that much of the let's say the operation of the consensus itself doesn't require as much energy as, for example, proof of work. Also, we were highlighting that we are conducting our tests and we are working very hard to preserve the node requirements as low as possible. And we do have the following updates, which will allow us to keep reducing them going forward. And with that being said, that the lower the requirements, the lower is the energy consumption. So basically, we can say that we are. It's very hard to measure until the network is launched and until all the network basically when the network will be launched, we will be able to measure approximately the energy consumptions, which is happening. But for example, this issue regarding energy consumption coming mainly not from proof of stake consensus algorithm, but from proof of work, and in particular from Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is consuming energy enough to to supply some average size country. So we are nowhere close to it, and yeah, we are working towards Waterfall to be able to operate in on like kind of low hardware requirements and with low requirements, including energy as well. So that's the answer. So we don't see it being the issue relevant to what we do, but we are working on this as well.
All right, yeah, got it, sir. And thank you for such a wonderful presentation. So, other than this, like, how does the Waterfall network plan to stay competitive with other layer one protocols in terms of innovation and performance?
So this is a very good question. In general, it's very hard to predict what is going to be happening, because there are so many technologies happening out there. And for example, even when we are comparing ourselves with one particular technology, there are advantages. There are some advantages of this technology, etc. And we of course are trying to observe what is happening on the market, but we But it is very hard to see everything because a lot of things are happening kind of in a stealth mode yet, or but in general, when we're talking about management practices, there is a level of idea creation, right, and there is an execution level. And in general, there could be a lot of bright ideas, right? But if execution is not efficient, and for example, company is losing the efficiency of implementation and agility of the team, then even if the idea was the brightest idea, this company can be not a company, like company, project, or ecosystem, etc. This in general ecosystem can be out-competed. And what we are talking about is that we are measuring we're measuring our performance and trying to apply the methodology of continuous improvement, so that we despite even, for example, the results are we're satisfied with results, we are going to work on the on how to achieve them better. And I believe we have good and good level of efficiency and agility, and we expect it not to decrease, but we are going to attempt to increase it by implementing the processes in parallel, but still preserving the efficiency of each of them, of each of them, even when happening in parallel. And we already had experience of doing that in our research and development field. So it is about efficiency, and we will be working hard to preserve it. And we are on the edge of the innovation, and we are planning not to lose our position as one of the companies which is one of the teams, projects, and group of companies which are working on the edge of the innovation. Thank you for this question. We're also thinking a lot about it.
All right, yeah, got it. And now, sir, I have last question for you, and this one also a very good question. So, what measures are in place to ensure that the network remains compliant with global and local regulation, could say?
So again, we are technical professionals, not the legal professionals, and we are not involved in the governance and basically launch the network. We only work on the technical part of this. But in general, yes, the Swiss Association, which is responsible for the governance of the network, is working with legal professionals, and generally, the compliance is determined by, maybe not working in the countries where it is prohibited, or not working with particular groups of population of the particular countries where it is somehow limited, etc. So there is this basically preserve in many countries. There are still no clear regulations regarding the status of the cryptocurrency. So, but we expect our legal, basically law firms which are supporting the association and the project, to advise us and to make the right decisions in this regard. And yeah, the job is actually, yes, to follow all the regulations and to be respectful to them, because we believe that mass adoption is coming from governments and enterprises. And what they need are two things. It's actually compliance and standards. And we are working on the both directions. We work on the standardization of the particular of the solutions of the particular problem tasks, and also we are working on the our colleagues are working on preserving compliance and as a crucial part of the long-term success of the project. Yeah, thank you for this question. This is also something we pay a lot of attention. Our colleagues pay a lot of attention to.
All right, that's wonderful, and thank you for these concise answer. And hope our community member already um, got their answer as well, if they have any, because we discuss a lot about the waterfall network. But guys, if you have more question or need any assistance with anything related to the waterfall network, please check out their platform. Drop those questions. Their community manager, their lead member will definitely reply you. And yeah, thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time. Your insights were incredibly informative and such a wonderful presentation, could say. And one more thing before wrapping up, do you want to say something to our community or offer as a closing statement?
Well, we are planning to launch very soon, so we are welcoming everyone to join our efforts in terms of the building technology and building the ecosystem of the technology as well. And please feel free to set up the software. Please provide us with the feedback. Because again, for our continuous improvement, it's very important to hear what our users are thinking and suggesting for the implementation. And basically, we are open to any feedback, positive, negative, neutral, how we can make it better, and we invite everyone to participate in the research and development of this technology, which we are super excited to be part of the group which is developing and launching it. Yeah, thank you for that, and please feel free to join us on this journey.
All right, that's great. So, guys, yeah, don't forget to join all the social links of Waterfall Network and support this project. Be the part of their community, and you will never regret of it. I'm damn sure about it. So, yeah, please support this project, and yeah, see you next time. So, have a great day. All the very best from our side.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.